Good evening. My name is Pierre LaFianza, and today I'm here to inform you on toxic masculinity and the effects on men's mental health. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, what is toxic masculinity? Because this term has actually been used many times throughout media, especially through feminism, and we might not actually know what its general definition is. Well, toxic masculinity, in a nutshell, is men depriving themselves of their emotions, and as a result, it leads to a lot of aggressive behavior. It's a lot of aggressive sexual behavior, especially towards women. Now, I believe that toxic masculinity is a very big problem, especially for young boys and men, because as a society, they deprive their emotions so much that when they try to come out to their problems, that they can't find a solution because society has deemed men as someone who does not show feelings and is someone who just can take as many hits as they can. So I believe that toxic masculinity is a huge issue, especially in America, because since it deprives them their emotions, it leads to depression, suicide, and anxiety. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, is there a way to help or cope with this toxic masculinity? And the answer is yes. There is a way, and the way is we allow men to express their feelings, and we should stop as a society labeling men as someone who does not show any sort of emotions. Now, if you look at the history of masculinity in general, it actually goes all the way back towards the caveman era basically, where masculinity showed who was the alpha of the situation. Now, times like that was different because we were in a civilized world. However, around the 70s or 80s, society started to notice that men became more aggressive and they showed no feelings. And as a result, it leads to men becoming very, very cold. And if there's a problem with them, they won't do anything about it. Now, if you look at today, there's still a huge issue. For example, especially in colleges, you have men who are so full of themselves that they don't think about the consequences. And there's a study done by RAIN that 13% of sexual assaults and rapes actually happen on campus. And as a result, they deprive women as not as people, but rather as property and objects. Now, of course, masculinity itself is not toxic because, like I mentioned earlier, it actually helped us deprive and how got to where we are today. In fact, there is actually something called toxic feminism. I don't remember the proper term, but it basically, because I mentioned masculinity, just shows how men are supposed to be according to society. Women is the same thing, whereas just women are supposed to be emotional, polite, and basically submit to everything, while men are supposed to be alpha, dominant, and they don't show any feelings. Now, you may have heard this theory we go gym or something like that, and that's how usually how men cope with going on inside. Now, as someone who I used to do it too, even still now, it's a really not a good idea. And the reason why is because what you do is that you take that anger you have inside and you push that ventilation towards a workout, for example. And what you end up doing is that even if, say, you're done, you end up feeling worse when you're done with the gym rather than going out. But of course, men don't like talking about their feelings. So how do we do that? Well, we encourage them. We don't shame them for what they are, saying it's okay to cry, because you know what? Even Jesus cried, and the Bible shows he had anger, he had sadness. And if they go to therapy and admit that, I need help, because I went to therapy, I am still going to therapy. I admit that I need help. I don't let my pride get the best of me. So in conclusion, we should not let society deem men as, emotionless people. They are human too, just like you and me. They're no different. And I believe the more we're encouraging to say it's okay to show your emotion, I believe depression will go down, anxiety will go down, and men can finally express how they feel, and we can help them cope whatever they're dealing with internally.